Hi, David. Sorry about
Hi, Jack. No problem.
Can I just, first of all, have your thoughts on the game? I mean, you're always going to miss players like Deck and Mikel Antonio, but do you feel that was felt a bit more keenly today?
But you would expect that in this game. I think you wouldn't have. You'd have been surprised if we could have easily done it without them. It was a tough game for us with what we had out today. But I have to credit the players. They showed great character and a bit of resilience in the second half to stick in the game and try and get back in it.
And just your thoughts on the red card and whether you'll appeal it with the Premier League.
You get no decisions from the Premier League. I think for me the big thing is it's just a really rank, rotten decision, and it shouldn't have been given.
And just on the injury front, do you hope to have Deck or Antonio or the two left backs back to Burnley?
Well, we're hoping to try and get some players back if we can. Today was really probably as low as we've been probably in what we had, but nevertheless I thought the players put on a good show. We've lost 1-0 to a team who's very much in form, and maybe we could have got a bit closer if the decision hadn't gone against us late on.
Cheers, David.
Cheers, Jack. Andy Dillon.
Hi, David. Can you hear me?
Andy.
Hi, yeah. Just obviously would like to expand on the decision for the red card. It seems to have overshadowed everything, because it wasn't that long ago we were talking about a similar incident with Thomas Souček, and you kind of think you won't ever see a decision like that for a long time, and then here we are again. Does it feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall with everything you say about the decision sometimes?
I just thought it was a really poor decision. I don't know who stopped the game. I thought it was supposed to be clear and obvious. I don't see that there was a clear and obvious reason for the referee to look at it. But it tells me that someone who has never played the game, who's made the decision and looked at it, because the player's cleared it and he's planted his foot. Now, obviously, we don't want it to be planted in another player's leg, but I don't see anywhere else where he can put his foot. And if that's the case, Andy, later, about 5 minutes later, the exact same incident happened with Vladimir Kufal and Rudiger. And actually, Vladimir's foot catches his thigh. So if the first one was a red, that one you'd have thought would have been given as a yellow, and they should have reviewed it as well, or maybe even worse. So why did they not review that incident?
Yeah.
So the consistency from it is dire, and actually, it's not a red card. It's not a red card. The player comes in Chilwell comes in quite late, and the interesting thing was Chilwell got up after rolling about and then crossed the ball in the box. So I don't think it was too bad.
I don't think I need to ask you anymore. I think that's summed up your feelings. What about did you think you played well? Do you think West Ham played well today?
We didn't play well. We didn't play well. Certainly in the first half, we didn't. I thought we got better in the second half. We played better. But I have to admit, we're up against a good team. I mean, they are a good side, and we didn't really do enough today to sort of hurt them the way that we have maybe other teams recently. But I think we had a few situations there. We're just a bit short today generally, that was all.
Thank you.
Cheers, Andy. Jacob?
Hi, Jacob.
Hi. Just to go back on what Andy was saying about Thomas Souček, I mean, there have been two ridiculous decisions, as you're saying. Are you going to seek any kind of clarity on that from the authorities? And do you have concerns about the way that VAR is being implemented?
I think we've just seen another ridiculous weekend, Jacob, of decisions, which, I saw one this morning, which nobody really agrees with at all. I've seen one there where I think if you've played the game, you don't know. I don't think for a minute that Fabio Valbuena anyway went to put his foot in the boy's leg. I don't know where he was supposed to put his foot after he clears the ball. So from that point of view, I don't know. We don't know who to speak to now because they don't make the decisions. I think it's been really poor, and we get another poor performance as well from the officials as far as that goes. I can't see how they can. I don't see how they can make that a red card. I really don't.
Jonathan Northcroft. Thanks.
Jonathan, how you doing?
I know, but I'll leave off the VAR. Thomas Tuchel was just saying how there was that one moment they had to ride the luck a bit when Jesse's lob sort of just went wide of the post, and you had to work hard for that chance. Was that the moment you needed to take? And also, how hard are Chelsea to break down? I mean, they've had more clean sheets than anyone in Europe, and Tuchel's had 16 out of 21. How hard is it to score against them?
Yeah, I agree, Jonathan. We didn't work them hard enough or cause them enough problems. I've been saying it in the dressing room there that, you know, if there's one thing we have been done recently, has been scoring and looking like we can score. It was tough today. We didn't really get any breakthrough, and we needed the extra player get into the last 10-15 minutes, which we didn't have. Jesse had a really good attempt at that moment, but I actually think that the big chance actually fell to Ryan Fredericks when it was a cut back at the edge of the box, and I think it got blocked. Was a real big chance for us. Pablo Fornals had an opportunity, and so did Jared Bowen, but I couldn't really come up with many more, to be honest, because we didn't have so many, and it's partly down to how well they've been organised. But they're a strong side at the moment, and that's why they're in the semi-finals of the Champions League and FA Cup final, and certainly in the mix at the top of the league.
Dan, hang on a sec, sorry. Dan King. Thanks, Jonathan.
Hi, David.
Hi, Dan.
One of the things that Thomas Tuchel said was that, you know, they've still got it all to do. They've got a very tough run of fixtures, and it's far from over. And I know the disappointment today added to with the VAR, but there's still all to play for in these final 5 games. And given that Chelsea have got a lot of games and some very tough games, you must feel that it's still there for you, that top 4 place.
Well, very much so, that we want to try and keep going. I mean, whether we make the top 4 or not, we've got to keep going. We want to be in the mix for European football. So that's the idea now. I think we've got so close. We're a month or so away from the end of the season now. So why would we not try and do it? Yeah, today was disappointing, but, you know, on a good day, Chelsea could score a lot of goals against you. We've done a good job. Our goalkeeper needed to make a couple of really good saves. But I have to say that we probably, with what we had out today, we were always getting stretched down. It was always going to be tough for us against this team. But we're right in the mix, and hopefully we can start to get some players back in the next sort of four or 5 games. With a bit of luck, we'll get some of them back.
Thanks, Dan. Tony Banks.
Hi, David.
Hi, Tony.
I just wanted to follow up on Dan's question, really. You've got 5 games left, 2 at home, 3 away. Looking at the fixtures, there's certainly some games you'll be looking to pick up points in there. And if you look at the spread of, there's only 5 points covering 4 teams. It's very, very tight. It's going to go to the wire, isn't it? I would have thought.
Yeah, I think it is, Tony. I think it's now going to go right to the end. But the big thing I always said was sort of, can we hang on to the coattails of the teams ahead of us? I think what happens then is when we jumped into the top 4 2 or 3 times, Tony, since the new year, roughly around that period, you're starting to think that, hey, can we really be one of these teams? I mean, half the time we were just trying to chase them, but we've been in there, we've earned it because of the way we've played and because of the results we've had this season. I don't see any reason why that should change now. So, you know, the players are going to get driven on. We're going to be pushing on to try and pick up points. I don't see any of the games coming up making it any easier, but I do understand the point is, you know, we're not playing all the teams at the absolute top. We'll get Everton in that running in 5 games to play, but we've got some really tough away games. But I think the way we've been playing, I think we've got a chance of winning games as well. So I'm hoping that we can show that.
Thanks, David. Good luck.
Cheers, Tony.
We'll finish with Zia.
Hi, David.
Hi, Zia.
Hi. Basically, football is a contact sport. We all know that. But in Balbueno's position, I mean, he literally got sent off for kicking the ball, and he had no intention there. Are you worried that with the introduction of VAR, that contact aspect is being taken away from the game?
Yes, and I'll tell you what I'm really disappointed is I actually think the referees in this country are very good. And I feel as if the referees are not refereeing the games the way they should be. And that can only be coming from the top and where they're getting told to referee. I mean, as you rightly said, Fabio Balbuena clears the ball. It's very difficult for him to plant his foot anywhere else. But But I could understand maybe the referee maybe making a mistake, but for somebody to be looking at that in a screen and consider that a red card, I find that incredible. I really do. And then the referee goes to look at it and chooses to do it. I mean, it's for me, it's so bad, so bad. But that's the world we're in. We don't want, if it's going to be no contact, then it's going to be no fun. The sport's going to be poor, and the referees are the people who can. The referees are the people who can change it by not giving easy fouls or doing it. They're the only people who can stand up and do it. But wherever they're taking their orders from, it's not very good.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks, everyone. Thanks very much.
Cheers.